We made it. We made it. Welcome to Module 6 of Velocity, your final module. Complete and celebrate. That is exactly what we are going to do here today. I am so excited for this module. You have earned it. And if you've been going through this with a true intention of setting out to do something and you've been applying this course to your process, my guess is that you made your first sale, you completed, pitched, you got into a new relationship. Like there should be some measurable impact here. And so whatever it is that we are celebrating for you in this moment, congratulations, how exciting. We will do some reflection, but this is a great opportunity you will find in the journaling prompts to really get into all that you've achieved in this course. Completion, energetically, conceptually, is to mark the end of something. This is the end of this course. This is not the end of your progress and success. The courses are packaged into a time frame, but because you have the course, you can reference it repeatedly, and really continue to integrate this into your life and reinforce this growth into your life. I think it's really powerful to tune into it multiple times. What I want to say about that is we are marking the end of being here together. It's important to mark the end of something, and particularly the achievement of something. So if I say I'm going to write a book, we've established that's just the beginning of the rest of the process of having a book, but we can't skip over a really major milestone like holding your book in your hand. You dream for years and you write for months or years, and you go through editing and you go through layout and you go through print, and you're investing, and it's a process, and it's challenging you, and you're overcoming all these obstacles. You're releasing and clearing, healing, embodying. There is so much to be celebrated. Don't skip the celebration part. And we will talk a little bit more about celebration, but let's talk about reflection first. What have you achieved? What have you accomplished in the process of creating Velocity, in the process of this course? What have you released? What have you healed? What have you accepted? What have you acknowledged? What have you embraced? What have you applied? You did a lot, and it's time to acknowledge, which is the next step. Acknowledge yourself for all that you did. Acknowledge all that you did, and then acknowledge yourself for doing it. This is a great time. After watching this module and doing the prompts, you might share this with someone you trust and love. It might be a friend, it might be a coach if you are in a program, but to really sink into, wow, I did that. Because as made very clear, this is about embodiment. This isn't technically about manifestation. This is a 6-module program, meaning you might have done it in 6 weeks or 12 weeks or 30 weeks, like whatever the time frame it took you to complete this content doesn't have an expiration date. And so you may have set out to do something in week 1 that didn't manifest physically in this time. And maybe you're still feeling for the frequency of the manifestation, but you still covered a ton of mental, emotional, spiritual ground in the process. This is really important. I'm very specific with clients at the end of a program, because they may not have manifested. Just a great example. I want to make $1 million. They might not have made $1 million in 6 weeks, but they're a millionaire. So we need to acknowledge the embodiment piece of it, but we do need to acknowledge the progress. They may not be a measurable millionaire by the end of the process, but you might have paid off a debt. You might have started a new savings account. You might have established a new retirement plan, right? Like, so you've done things. You don't go from broke to millionaire. You bridge the gap. You cross the Grand Canyon, right? We need to establish some of the planks we put down on the bridge. Do not diminish your participation in this course by beating yourself up for not being at the destination. This is a point of acknowledging every plank in the bridge. So reflection is, what have you achieved? What have you created? What have you crossed over? What have you released? Like digging in on that. This is meant to be about celebration and acknowledgement. You might need to acknowledge your disappointment, and that's okay too. We all need to do that. We need to grieve, feeling like, when's my time? It didn't happen in my timeline. Oh, I failed. Oh, it's not coming. We can question. That's natural and healthy, but you can't stay there. Don't get 3 feet from gold and quit because you're disappointed. You can acknowledge it, but you can't quit there. Well, you can. You can do whatever you want. Of course, you have that freedom, but I encourage you not to quit. So then reflection, acknowledgement, and celebration. let's talk about celebration. This is so beautiful. Everyone has a different brand of celebration, a different flavor of what celebration would mean for them. That might look like a party for yourself. Great, do that. It might look like a really long bath. Do that. Massage. That's my favorite celebration. If I have a big day, meaning I am practicing a lot of courage, or I am going outside of my comfort zone for an extended period of time, I love to buy myself a massage and say, this is like, good job, Abigail. I'm proud of you. Go treat yourself. And sometimes it looks as simple as going to get my favorite Starbucks drink. I want to be really clear. This isn't about, you don't have to break the bank celebrating. There's a couple other pieces about that. It might look like writing yourself a love letter, a congratulations letter, right? It can be free. It doesn't have to cost anything. And it doesn't always look like pampering yourself either. It might look like getting acknowledgement or going to hang out with your friend or taking a day off. It might look like not performance. But one thing I want to encourage you to not do for celebration, particularly around my very busy people, is say, I'm going to spend all afternoon getting all the laundry done. That's not a celebration. That's something that you need to be doing. And so it really giving yourself a break. One of my other favorite ones is I love buying a shirt, something that signifies, like on my first $10,000 day is I bought a shirt. And when I put that shirt on, I'm like, this is my $10,000 day shirt, right? Like that's fun. So it can look like all sorts of things, but really spending the time to acknowledge. What I would say is a good measurement of if you're celebrating or not is it feels like indulging. You are indulging in some form of celebration for yourself that really marks that celebration and acknowledgement. That is a really fun piece of this puzzle. And don't forget to do that every step of the way. You do not have to have arrived, like this is momentous because we're ending our time together in the course. And so yay, celebrate. But if I've set out for a goal, writing a book, writing one chapter, having a writing session, I can celebrate that. I can celebrate the completion of a whole part. I love to celebrate when I submit my book to my editor, my first draft, because it will be in her hands for a month and I am going to just take time off and go celebrate and maybe take a trip, just depending on how I feel and what feels appropriate to celebrate. It's truly an indulging time to mark your celebration. And then declaration. When you arrive somewhere, when you arrive at a mountain peak, from a mountain peak gives you the line of sight to see thousands of miles of land if you really go to the top of a mountain. You know what you see from there? New destinations, new mountains to climb. And so it's never your last mountain peak. So making a new declaration. And this isn't about shiny thing syndrome, which you might have heard me mention before. This isn't about the next. It's about a declaration of, I am enough. I am capable. I have done well. I will continue to do well. I am my dream self. I'm always improving. I'm always getting better. I'm always more capable. I'm always expanding. I'm always calling in new abundance. I'm always aiming for the highest good of all. I always surrender to the highest good of all and my highest good. There's always a moreness. And as I had shared before is I too will struggle with, again, more. Can't I just be comfortable? Can't I just chill for a while? You can. That's what celebration is about. And you will eventually recalibrate to that new level of success. And you will feel, by way of being in this course, I know you're someone like that, and that's okay. Don't make that wrong. Make it okay. And when you notice the new contrast and it's time to suit back up for another challenge, it's time to level up again in life, make it okay. Because you know how to create velocity in your life. You know how to climb that mountain with fluidity and grace and passion and compassion. And so you know all the steps of moving through declaring and fulfilling a dream or a goal. And so when you receive your next download for the next greatest thing, the next up level in your life, make it okay. Unleash your heart to the next level. And I want to thank you for tuning into this Hearts Unleashed curriculum, the Velocity program. Wherever you are in your life, it's okay to celebrate and it's okay to keep going. So keep going and keep sharing your light. I love you.